separately. That way, if you happen to pick up the first session but miss the second one, you can go in and look at each session separately. Or if, for instance, you want to hear the option session again, some of the stuff that Nick covered, you can just go directly to his presentation and watch that as a separate recording. So we'll get all of those uploaded and emailed out to you. Monique, the class on the 16th, basically, those will be listed on the Trading Pub website, but the class on the 16th, the way that's going to work is going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's going to go for about 2 hours. Basically, what we're going to do on Thursday night is do a intro session. We'll do an intro session where we cover an intro to stocks, options, futures, forex, binary options, etc. Basically, to kind of get you up to the intermediate level so that you can understand all the stuff that's going to be covered on Friday. The master series of the Friday class is, Frank, here's the link to that class. The master series of the Friday class is where you have 2 hours of education from each of the presenters you saw today. So you'll get a copy of that. And yeah, like Lynn said, could have listened to all the presenters for a few more hours. The whole morning's been awesome. So again, like I said, if you enjoyed the 45 minutes you had with each of these guys, you'll learn a tremendous amount in a 2-hour session with them. And what we're doing, I know some people can't stay for the whole session on Thursday or Friday, next Thursday or Friday. So for everyone that buys the class, basically what we'll do, we're going to record it, and we'll also put together the materials of the trading manuals into a trading manual, into a PDF that all of you guys will get as well. So again, here's the link for that. Juan, no, I'm about to do a quick session on binary options for you guys, and then we'll call it a day. So what I'm going to do is give you a couple of minutes here. We'll put a quick timer up, 2 minutes. And I know we've got, earlier we had a lot of people trying to sign up. I think we had some issues with the, yeah, Marie, we'll do that. I think we're, I'm not sure where we're at. I haven't had a chance, but we'll do, anybody that signs up today will get 50% off on that class for you. So I know I had a couple people email me saying that they had some issues signing up. So that way you can do that. All right, well, very cool. Well, I'll be back on in about 1 minute, and I'll cover some binary options education for you. So, yeah, Frank, and that's the thing is basically what we're doing. We do a lot of these free classes, that basically kind of include a 40-minute session. This class next week is going to be 2 hours from each one, so it's 8 hours, plus the intro class is 10 hours. The cost is $297, but we're discounting it by 50% for all of you guys today, so basically $147. And with that, something we do with Trading Pub, the way our business is set up is that 10% of all revenue that comes in goes to charity. That's off the top before expenses. But with this special class, what we're doing is 50% of the revenue that comes in from the class will go to charity. So we're doing that as a special class, basically. And here's the link for that class that you can check out. So again, give you guys a second to do that, and then we'll get started on the last presentation of today. So, and yeah, we'll get the recordings posted hopefully by tonight. We'll email it out to everybody that you can look at as well. There should be no promo code required on the master's class. All right, good deal, good deal. We'll give you a quick bio. This is me right there. I founded Trading Pub about 2 years ago. I started learning about the markets at the age of 16. I've traded stocks, options, futures, forex, and Nadex, and I've really had the opportunity to learn from several excellent traders, and that really is what led to me starting Trading Pub. Is I thought about the fact that I had lots of relationships in the trading industry and had learned from lots of different people. And just really, I'd say that trading, it's very rare in trading that you have an original idea. At least now, there's a lot of different ways to skin the cat, but there's so much to learn from other people. And so, kind of like if you think about it this way, if you haven't traded credit spreads before, are you better off trying to read everything you can on credit spreads and come up with your own strategy, or are you better off going and finding somebody like Nick who is successful with credit spreads and saying, let me learn from him? And so that's kind of the approach that I've taken from trading. One guy I've learned a lot from that I've been on his weekly newsletter for a long time is Larry Williams. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He's been trading now for over 50 years. But again, he's a big seasonals guy. And again, lots of great traders. Check out MarketFi, HubertCenters.com. Like I said with the speakers today, have an indicator I've used from Dustin and Ross before. So again, that's important. You know, one thing I'll tell you as a lifelong Cubs fan, I've been conditioned for patience and accepting losses. I think with anything in trading, you know, you're not always going to win, and so you've got to be able to focus on losses. So if there's any other poor, miserable Cubs fans in the room like myself, you guys know what I'm talking about. We're well trained for that. And so we showed this picture earlier. Faye, if you're not seeing anything on the screen, you can try clicking F5. So again, you can try clicking F5. All right, but we saw this picture earlier, and basically, you know, you look at this and say, which one of these two, which one of these two describes my trading? And some people said, you know, we had one guy that said it looks like number 2, except those are $100 bills is the only difference. But basically, you know, some people are at number 1. Hubert put a poll up I thought was interesting. It was kind of where you were in trading, and a lot of the people in this room were basically kind of in the field of I've made some money and I've lost some money. You know, there were a few people that said they were killing it, a few people that said they were really struggling, but kind of the main majority is kind of in that lukewarm stage. So again, it's important to kind of focus on your risk and understand that. Today's topic, what I'm going to talk about, and this is something that Hubert talked about. You know, he showed you the example of basically risking $156 in order to make $1,000, and he talked about how you could be right 30% of the time, which means you're wrong 70% of the time. However, if your risk and rewards in line, you can actually make money. And so again, you know, one thing that a lot of people lose money on, and this was touched on in the credit spread presentation, is basically, let's say that on a trade you make, let's say you make $100 and then you make $150 and then you make $180 and then you lose $750. So again, basically what you've done is you're right 3 times out of 4, but you're negative money. And so I've seen a lot of traders do that. So what I'm going to talk about is defined risk trading, basically kind of knowing that from the second you get into the trade that you have that defined risk available. So what I'll do is talk about a few thoughts on the markets in general. I am definitely not the smartest person in the room. I can tell you that much, and so I'll just tell you a little bit about what I think. You guys can take it or leave it for what it's worth. We'll talk about Nadex, what it costs. We'll talk about binary options, 3 different strategies with that, and then a couple of trade examples. So a few thoughts on the market overall. Obviously, the market's been on a runaway train. Like Nick said, it's no longer a sell in May and go away. It's kind of like a buy in months that end in Y type of a market, and you've seen that. Basically, the market's continued to go up. I think if you had the mentality of, hey, I'm just going to get short and stay short for the rest of the year, you know, you'd really be hurting. And so what you want to look at is when you take short opportunities, take them with some kind of defined risk. And so, like for instance, right now, if I'm looking for a short opportunity and I'm looking to short, say, the S&P futures, I would probably use a debit spread strategy. And what I'll tend to do is, with the debit spreads that I use, is I'll look to buy the option I buy is in the money, and then I'll go out very far and give myself a decent spread, where basically it's kind of like taking a synthetic position in the way that it's like I'm short the S&P but with limited risk. I think that the Australian dollar, I know we've got some Australians in the room today, but I feel like the Australian dollar is still a good shorting opportunity. We've had a nice move. You know, when I first did put together this presentation, the Australian dollar was a little bit higher. We've had some sell-off in it, but again, still feel like we could see some pullbacks in the Australian dollar. You guys know this if you've watched the yen over the past year. The yen has absolutely capitulated. You know, huge drop, continues to drop. I think, you know, and when I say this, I'm not saying I think that the yen is completely going to turn around and be, you know, going on an incredible bull run. but I do think that after a little bit of consolidation around the 100 area, we'll start to see a little pop in the yen. And so basically what I'm looking at here is to start looking for opportunities to be short the Australian dollar against the yen. Gold, interestingly, gold has had two incredible moves. I was actually short gold. I had a debit spread on, about a 40-point debit spread that this was when gold had its big drop, that I thought was kind of, I'd bought the debit spread and lost money, and basically thought it was going to expire worthless and got bailed out by that huge drop in gold that we saw a couple weeks ago. But I completely missed the up move, so I completely missed the reversal. So I caught about 40 points of the down move on the gold futures, but have completely missed the reversal back to the upside. So I really don't have a good feeling on gold. I know silver and gold have been flipping from buy to sell and buy to sell, and so kind of like Nick said, I'm staying away from oil except for intraday trading. And the reason I do that is there's just a whole lot going on in the world right now. And if you think about it, what part of the world is going to move the oil market? It's the Middle East. And I think something that has been proven over time is that nobody knows what's going to happen in the Middle East. I think it's been that way for thousands of years, and I don't really see that changing in the near future. So right now, with everything going on, I'm staying away from oil except for intraday trading. So not putting a lot on there. I think that the grains are actually going to start turning bullish over the summer. You've seen some interesting moves in corn and soybeans the past couple days. It looks like they're starting to get legs in the rally, and then it'll pull back some. But I think that we'll start to see a rally coming up soon in the grain markets. All right, how many people, just type in yes or no, how many people have heard of Nadex before? Type in yes or no. ES, when I talk about ES, that's the E-mini S&P futures. Okay, all right, so here's the deal, is you've probably heard a lot about binary options, or you've heard a little bit about binary options, and if you ever Google binary options, all of a sudden your email, your Gmail ads and all the ads on every website you see will say, binary options, Cyprus, binary options, this place that's offshore that you've never heard of or been, basically trying to get you to open an account with them. And you have to be very careful with binary options because of the fact that many binary options brokers are not regulated by any type of exchange. And when you trade with a company that's not regulated by an exchange, basically you're sending them money and your money's in an account that's secured by the company. All right? So again, when you send your money to, say, an offshore binary options firm, and not to say that all those firms are bad, but just know when you're sending your money to a firm like that that's not regulated, basically you're putting your trust in that firm that they will make good on the money. So again, now IG Markets is a huge company. It's listed on the FTSE. That's different. That's different than trading, say, some random binary options company that just throws up a website. So again, yeah, IG is well known. I think their market cap might be over $1 billion, and they're actually the parent company to Nadex. Now, Nadex is the North American Derivatives Exchange. It's registered with the CFTC. It's a DCM, Designated Contract Market Derivatives Clearing Organization. So basically, the thing that you have there is it's regulated just like other exchanges are. If you look at the CME, other exchanges that are regulated, that's what Nadex is. Now, again, what we'll talk about here is talk about the cost. The way that Nadex works is when you open an account, you become a member of the exchange. And something that's different with Nadex from, say, the CME or some of the other exchanges is actually it was built for retail traders. And when you hear the term retail trader, that basically means a non-institution. It's an individual trader. So pretty much everyone in this room is an individual trader. If you're trading your own money, you're not trading a fund. Basically, you're an individual retail trader. So the way that that works is that you become a member of the exchange by opening an account, and you can trade with other members of the exchange. So one difference with Nadex versus some of the other binary shops is the fact that you're not trading against the broker, you're not trading against the exchange, you're trading against other traders. So if you buy it, that means someone else is selling it, not you buy it and your broker selling it. I think it's just kind of a good rule of thumb, typically, that if someone builds their business around taking the other side of your trade, then the odds are not in your favor. So again, just keep that in mind. Always ask when you're if you're trading a new product or something, I'll say, who am I trading against? And if you're trading against the actual firm that holds your money, then basically it's kind of, think of it, and not to say it's gambling, but it's like a casino. You're playing against the house. So there are market makers on it, but they are not Nadex market makers. Nadex is only an exchange that facilitates trading. So again, they are just the exchange. They do not trade in the market. The way that fees work is that each contract is 90 cents per side. So that's 90 cents in and 90 cents out. And basically, the way that they do this is it's capped at $9. So if you trade a 10 lot, your commissions would be $9 for the trade to get in, $9 to get out. If you trade a 20 lot, you would pay $9 to get in and $9 to get out. If you trade a 30 lot, you'd pay $9 to get in, $9 to get out. So basically, it really benefits you as you start trading more size. Is very important to understand that you start out small, and as you continue to improve and get better in trading, you increase your size, but your commission structure does not change. So it's capped at that 10 or $9 per contract. So it's 90 cents times 10. Yeah, Kathy, if you trade a one lot, your commission is 90 cents. So if you trade a one lot, it's 90 cents. So to tell you a little bit about binary options, if you have not traded these before, a binary option is a simple short-term contract. Basically, it's intraday, daily, and weekly. They're limited risk. They're fully collateralized contracts. What that means is it trades from 0 to 100. So basically, if you buy a binary option at 40, all right, if you buy it at 40, then the highest it can go is 100. So you paid 40 for it. The most you can make is $60. If you sell it at 40, the lowest it can go is 0. So basically, the way that works is the most you could make would be 40. The most you could lose is 60. So there's defined risk on every side of the trade. It's a yes or no proposition. So for instance, let's say that you're looking at a binary option on, just pick a market. So you're looking at a binary option in the S&P. If the S&P is currently trading at 1630, and that's the binary option, if you're above 1630 at expiration, then the binary option pays out at 100. If you're below 1630 at expiration, it pays out at 0. Now you can trade in and out of it throughout the day. So for instance, let's say that you buy that binary option at 30, and then later in the day the market's rallied, so now that binary option is trading at 55, you could sell it at 55, right? So again, that's how it works with Nadex. And now some of the offshore binary options brokers, they pay out a percentage of what you make. Nadex is just strictly, they pay out the entire amount. So you pay your exchange fee, which is 90 cents a contract, capped at $9, and then after that, basically, the money is yours. So, or someone else's if you lose. All right, so here's 5 simple steps that I use, and you can apply this first part to any type of trading. I think if you go ahead and admit this, you'll probably be better off in the long run, but understand that you're not the smartest person in the world. Luckily, I'm well aware of that fact, and because I understand that, I know for a fact that I can be wrong, that I'm not always going to be right, and so I have to look at the risk side. So I don't just look at a trade and say, hey, this trade has a max profit of $250, so that means I'm going to make $250. No, I'll look at it and say this trade has a max profit of 250, a max loss of this. What can go wrong? Why am I getting in? Why would I get out? And basically, you can kind of take a look at that. What I try to do is, before finding a binary option, is determine the overall market direction. Am I bullish or bearish? If I'm bullish, I'll look to buy a binary anywhere from 60 to 80 in price. So again, I'll look to buy a binary around 60 and 80 in price. And I'll look to sell a binary around 25 and 40 in price. So think about this. If I buy a binary at 70, what's the most I can make? So if I buy a binary at 70, what's the most I can make? Right, 30, because it goes to 100. All right, the most I can lose is 70. All right, if I buy it at 70, the most I make is 30, the most I lose is 70. So again, what I'll do from a risk standpoint is I kind of use the 50 level on the binary option as an indication of the trade and adjust the position. And think about binary options like a probability. Basically, if you see a binary option that's trading at 80, then basically what that's telling you is that that option has an 80% chance. All right, that option has an 80% chance of closing in the money, meaning it'll pay out 100. If you see a binary option trading at 10, then that means that there's about a 10% chance. Now, as the market moves towards the binary, let's say that you buy one at 10, and let's say that the S&P, just for example, is trading at 1630, all right, and you're looking at a binary at the end of the day at 1640. Well, in the morning, that binary might be trading at 10. Reason being, the market has to rally 10 points for you to get paid. Well, if the S&P rallies up from 1630 to 1638, all of a sudden, you've got a couple hours to expiration. That binary now might be trading at 30 or 35. So if you bought it at 10, you're now up, 25 bucks on the trade. So the thing to think about, yeah, so a 10 lot on 60 would be $600, Tony. Yes, correct. That's dollars. So what I tend to do is I look for positions where I'll have a little bit of an edge. So let's say that the S&P is trading at 1633, and there's a binary at 1630, and that binary is trading at $65 or $70. Let's say it's trading at $70. So what I'll try to do is say, okay, what do I think the market's going to do? If I'm bullish on the market move for that afternoon, so it's at 1633, I think it's going to go higher. What I'll do is I'll buy that 1630 binary at 70. And so basically what I've done is I've said as long as the market's above 1630, I'll make my full profit of $30 from there. And the reason I do that is if the market goes to 1632, I still make money. If it goes to 1631, I still make money. If it goes to 1630 quarter, I still make money. So I give myself basically a couple points of area where I can sort of hedge myself. So I don't have to be completely right on the trade. And yeah, it could be Joseph, that some of the European binaries are a little different. So here's a look at binary option movement. What you see, and this is a contract on Nadex, basically how it's traded. You see how it traded down to 30, traded up to 70. This is all intraday. Traded down to 40, traded up to 70, and look, as you see, it traded up to 80 there, and it looks like this one's going to close in the money here. So again, you can see you can trade it all throughout the day. So you don't have to just buy it and hold it all day, or sell it and hold it all day. You could buy it, sell it, buy it, sell it, buy it, sell it. Or if you're having a bad day, you could sell it, buy it, sell it, buy it, sell it. So again, lots of opportunity to trade throughout the day, and that's important to understand. So again, here's a binary option strategy, basically a low probability, high reward. This is a look at just an example to show you. You see gold here on this examples at 1791, and so this would be a binary option that you're basically making the trade that gold will be above 1794 in a couple hours. What you see there, what you see here is that it's trading at about $35. So if I wanted to buy this option, my max loss would be $35, my max profit would be $65. Now the reason that you have more reward than risk is the fact that the market has to go up in order to make money. So you're not in the money. Think about this as an out of money option. Yes, this is a way to trade with a smaller account size, or if you trade one contract with this, and you see this here, basically if you made this trade with one contract, you're only risking $35, and your max gain is $65. So if you do a 5 lot, basically you just multiply that times 5, where your risk is about $170. If you trade a 10 lot, your risk is $350, your max profit is $650 on the trade. So again, you can trade as low as one contract, and that's why it's a good thing as you're kind of getting started with it. Yes, there is a demo account. There's a way to trade the paper account version as well. All right, here's a high probability, low reward. So here's a strategy if we looked at, and you see that gold was at 1791. Yes, I do trade these. And you see gold at 1791. And you see this is for gold above 1784. So basically this is an option, the trade here, and the time of this trade is about 2 hours. So the trade that you're making here is saying that you think that gold will stay above 1784 in the next 2 hours. So if you see gold go anywhere from down $7 to up or unchanged, you make money. As long as it doesn't go more than $8 down, you make money on this trade. Now, the reason that you don't make as much is the fact that you see that you have that built-in little area that it can go against you and still make money. So that this scenario, you're making $11, you're risking $89. The 2 hours, Jeannie, is basically, you see the time here is about 9:30 and it expires at 12. So again, it expires at 12, and that's Eastern time right there, and that's Central, so I know that really it's about an hour and a half. So basically you have that opportunity. All right. In addition to binary options, they have bull spread contracts. And the way that these work, think about this like if you took a contract like gold and you said, okay, I want to trade gold, but I don't want to take all the risk that's in gold. So if you say, well, gold is currently at 1447, I only want to trade gold from 1430 to 1450. So that's only a 20-point range. You can actually trade that. So again, you can actually trade that. Yeah, if you are not US, you can trade IG through IG Group. If you're outside the US, if you're in the US, you can trade Nadex. Nadex is about to approve international clients, but right now you can just trade with IG Markets. The way that this is priced, it's for the retail trader. Each contract is $1 a trade. So the thing that's cool with spread trading is with more volatile markets, you have a ceiling and a floor. So let's say that you're trading on crude oil, and you have a floor of 92 and a ceiling of 93. Well, if crude's trading at 92.10, you can buy that spread at 92.10. If your floor is 92, the most you can lose is 10 cents on that trade. Whether crude drops 10 cents, 11 cents, or $5, the most you lose is that 10 cents. So again, that's important to understand. Here's an example. So looking at gold here, here's a spread in gold that you see 1750 to 1800. Now to trade gold futures, if you were to trade this contract, you'd have to put up probably about $10,000 in order to trade that. So short gold, and you could have unlimited risk. Now with Nadex, if you look at this spread at 1750 to 1800, you can sell gold here, and you sell 5 contracts. Your max loss is up to 1800, so your max loss would be $490, and then your max gain would be $2,000. That would be if it dropped all the way to 1750. So you're able to pick the spreads, find a spread that's near either the ceiling or the floor, and then take the other side of that. So if I'm bearish gold right now, I can sell this contract and basically have it capped at 1800. I know that the most I can lose is $490 and the most I can make is $2,000. So again, it's a much more beneficial strategy than simply saying, hey, I'm going to just sell gold over here where I have to put up, $10,000 to do the trade. It could go through my stop price, and I could take a huge loss. So here, let's say that gold all of a sudden spikes to $2,000. Say something crazy happens and gold spikes up 100 or 200 bucks. The most you can lose is $490. So again, the most you can lose in this situation is $490. So I'm going to talk about three strategies that you can use. I'm going to talk about credit strategies on daily binary options, spread strategies, and then spread strategies with an edge. Here's an example, basically where you see crude oil supports determined at the 92 area on this chart. This is just an example. And this is a binary option you see that's trading at $10. So basically what you're saying here is that you think crude will stay below 93.50. You know that there's resistance at 93.20. You could sell this at 10 and basically make 10% risk on reward. So again, that's the way that works. And then we can actually do the other side. This is kind of like building your own iron condor, basically where you'd buy the 92 option at 80, sell the 93.50 option at 10. So basically, you have a max profit of about $40 here, or $30. You're only putting up effectively about $160 to do it. So that's a pretty good return on risk as long as crude stays between 92 and 93.50 at the end of the day. So again, when you're in a range-bound market, you can do these types of trades, and helps to bring in, it's an income type strategy. So kind of similar way of trading credit spreads. Yes, you can trade forex contracts on Nadex. I'm showing you some of the commodities examples, but they do have products for each of the major currency pairs. And the way that this works, so let's say that settlement here, basically crude settled above 92. So the option that we bought at $80 pays out at 100. The money is in your account literally immediately. You see this option expired. If you look back at this, notice how that option says 230 right there. Right, so as a spread, if you buy a spread, you want it to be above the price. If you sell a spread, you want it to be below the strike price. So if you look at this, this was the 230 spread right there. It expired at 230. I got an email at 2:30 and 3 seconds saying that it had a $100 payout and position and account balance have been updated. So that balance is now cash in my account that can be used for other trades or withdrawal. Trade example 2, another credit strategy. Basically, ES resistance was determined on this daily chart, and the strategy here is to sell below the 1525. And if you look at this, you might say, and this is kind of the credit spread mentality, if you look at this, you say, hey, I'm selling something for $12, I'm risking $88, that's not really worth it. Well, think about this. What type of return, what percentage return, if you were to make $12 off of $88? So what kind of return is that? Percentage-wise, what kind of return are we looking at? Well, if we sell it for 12, the most we can make is 12, right? So we sell it for 12, we risk 88. It's about a 13% return. All right. So again, it's a credit opportunity. So what we're doing, at that time the S&P was at 1517. So the trade we're taking is saying we do not think that for the rest of today that the S&P will rally over 7 points. So if you're bearish on the market, what you're doing here, let's say I think the market's going to go down. Well, if I'm bearish on the market, I'm giving myself a 7-point window to be wrong and still make money. Now, what I try to do on the risk side of these is if we trade up to 1525, this binary will be trading at 50. Okay, so again, I'll typically tend to get out of the trade if we trade to the strike price before expiration. So your odds of winning, if you think about it, basically your odds on a trade like that is about 90%, 88%. Figure if you're selling at 10, then basically they're saying it's a 90% opportunity. If you're buying something at 90, think of it that way too. It's basically a 90% opportunity. If you're doing a binary trade that's at 50, if you're trading at 50, basically that's saying that there's a 50-50 opportunity. So again, what you have to do is not just do it based off the prices on binaries, but what you have to do is look at it and say, the market's at 1517, I think it's going down, so I'm going to put a bearish trade on. Don't look at it and say, hey, the market's at 1517, yeah, this is the S&P 500. The market's at 1517, I can make 13%, so I'm going to do this trade. Because if you think the market's bullish, you should be doing a bearish trade. So, no, I don't have a service calling options. We got a lot of free education. Here's a look at an example of the credit trades we put on. Like when we first put them on, you can see you got real-time profit and loss. You see the trade example. And this was a trade actually we almost lost on. So we sold it here, it rallied, it didn't quite get to the 50 point. And then as you see, as we got to the end of the day, the value came out of that trade. Yes, you can trade these on a demo account. So again, example of strategy number 2 in spreads, buying near the bottom of a spread or selling near the top that you see here. Basically, you can take trades. This is going long the S&P effectively with a floor of 1520. So basically, you're long an S&P contract, a risk of $45 is the most you can lose. Now, here's the cool thing. How many people in here have gotten into a trade, you got stopped out, but then you ended up being right on the trade? How many people have had that happen? Right, yeah, I think it's happened to a lot of people. With this trade, you're in until the time. So let's say that you buy this at 45, the market drops 5 points, so it would have stopped you out, but then it comes back. You're actually still in the trade. So again, it's a very cool thing, that allows you that opportunity. So like I said, I don't have, I don't have like a service or a signal service I'm trying to sell you with it. We have a lot of free education. You can click on that link and have it emailed to you. If this is something that kind of piques your interest, it'll also send you a link to a demo account that you can that you can take a look at. And then you can also do strategies like a spread collection. Basically here that you see that the S&P at the time was trading at 15.14, but you could effectively buy this spread at 15.13.5, and you give yourself about half a point premium collection. So it's going to cash settle at the end of the day. So again, it'll cash settle at the end of the day. So basically you're able to pick up that half point as a spread. So if you're going to buy the S&P anyway, why not buy it here, pick up the premium, and basically your gains capped at 15.20. That's why you're getting that premium. But if you think about it, what are the odds at a certain time that the S&P will rally more than that amount anyway? So again, you give up some reward, but you get a little buffer there. So really appreciate you guys being here. I know you know, we're going on the 4th hour of this. I'm very excited about the Masters of the Market class. You know, what we've done is we've taken each of these traders you heard from today and gotten them to agree to do a 2-hour trading session. And I think that you guys will really enjoy this class. What we'll do is the Thursday night, that's this Thursday night, we're going to do an intro session on, yeah, that's right, Juan. So Thursday night we'll do the intro session. Friday for 8 hours we'll have the full class. It's 2 hours with each of the presenters. I know that some of you guys might not be able to attend each session, but what we are going to do, we're going to record it. So again, each session of the Master Series is going to be recorded. Everybody will get a video recording for you that way. So the topics covered, Nick's going to cover professional option strategies from A to Z. That's 2 hours. Tom is going to cover live DAX trading and strategies for the cash open. That's 2 hours. Ross and Dustin are going to cover the Forex rundown for every level of trader. That's 2 hours. And then Hubert Centers is going to cover 3 markets and 3 strategies. He shared an example of one of those strategies in the bond strategy, but he's going to spend 2 hours covering those strategies that you can immediately put to use. And then each of the presenters also is going to give you an opportunity to trade live with them after the class for everyone that signs up for the Master Series. So again, Robbie, here's the link. I'll post it in the room. The link to sign up for the Master Series. And I'll just post that right here. I know we had a lot of people sign up earlier. Basically what we're doing, we've got it discounted 50% for any of you guys that sign up. You can just click on that link in the room. You will get a recording of the class. You will get a manual. So for $147, you get over 10 hours of education. You get the recording that will be good, basically for you, however long you want to keep viewing it. And then you'll also get the trading manual and the opportunity with each of these traders to trade live with them following the class. So the offer Tom made was to trade live with him for the rest of May. I know Hubert's going to give you guys the chance to trade for a month. Dustin will as well, and Nick will as well. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, so but Tony, I guess that comes out to $15 an hour, and you get the recording. So again, I think that it'll be a pretty cool thing. We'll get a recording out about this class to you guys hopefully later tonight. So here's the link one more time to the Masters Series, and I look forward to seeing you guys in that class. All right, does anybody have any questions? Anything else? So again, remember, we'll get everybody a recording of the Master Series that signs up for it, so even if you can't make the live sessions. And also, even if you can't make the live sessions, we'll make sure you get the offers to trade live with each of the four guys as well, so everybody will get that. All right, good deal. Appreciate you guys being here today. And again, like I said, excellent speakers. I'm grateful to Hubert, Tom, Ross, and Nick for taking time out of their day, and also for agreeing to be part of the Master Series. You know, they're not getting paid to be a part of that. They're doing that out of kindness, and so I really appreciate that. And 50% of the proceeds of this Master Series are going to be donated to the charities that we support. So hopefully it'll be a good opportunity for you guys to learn, and then also to do some good with the money that comes in. So thanks everyone, and we'll see you Thursday night on the intro, and then Friday for the live trading, and get you the recording for that for everyone that signs up at this link. All right, see you on Thursday.